Back in the day, people would interview celebrities, and that was the liaison to the audience. Yeah. But now you have a direct connection. So it's like, when I interview someone, I was like, what can I ask that no one has ever asked, really?
I definitely think that I'm a lot darker of a person, as I'm wearing all black, than I portray online.
What a great night's sleep. Except I have no idea why I keep having that reoccurring dream that in 5 years I'll have no job and no money because I put all my eggs in one YouTube basket.
A lot of people think that I'm this crazy, fun, outgoing, guy, which I am online, but every comedian has like a terrible story.
What's your terrible story?
Oh God, it all started at birth. No, I think, I had a rough childhood, and, I was morbidly obese as a teenager, and I dealt with a lot of depression, and I definitely had to use comedy to kind of make myself laugh, make my family laugh when we were going through hard times.
How do you get yourself out of a dark state?
I think the way I get out of the depression really is just to be creative.
People barely even knew I existed.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
Oh, it's okay, don't worry about it. Anytime I'm starting to feel down, I make a video, or I write a script, or I come up with a concept for a show I want to pitch, or I just do something creative, and it reminds me that, I can just bring myself out of it.
Do you remember that epiphany moment when you were younger, when you discovered that?
Yeah, the first memory I have of kind of a bad childhood moment, I remember right afterward going over to my friend's house, putting on all her mom's clothes, and basically doing a drag show at 7, which, isn't normal, but it made everybody laugh, and it made me laugh, and that was definitely my first memory of that.
Did people at that point were like, while they were laughing, they're like, what's the deal with this kid?
Oh my God, Fifi Fierce, I love you!
This was before transgendered was a thing. This was pre-Bruce. I think nowadays it'd be a little different. I think they would have changed my name to Shauna, and I would have been an ugly woman. Let's be honest.
You have beautiful eyes.
That's what people say to ugly people. And you're funny. No, so yeah, that was definitely, a lot of people were like, wow, telling my mom, wow, your son is crazy. He's putting on all these weird shows for the neighborhood, and he's making all these weird videos, but little did they know it would lead me to doing it online, which is even weirder.
At the time, what did your mom think? Or like your family and your dad, was he in your life at this point?
So my dad left when I was about 9. They got divorced, and my mom was a single working mom, so she was always gone. So it was pretty much just me and my brother, and that's it. So there was a lot of weird, chaos, a lot of wrestling, a lot of eating, and that's when I kind of picked up a camera and started making videos when I was like 10.
In the book, you talk about losing weight, and you talked about this. I mean, I knew about your weight loss, but how did that all happen?
My cap and gown didn't fit because I was, 400 pounds, so we had it sewed together. And that was the moment where I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this forever, and I want to be an actor, and I want to be a director, and I don't want to die before I'm 30. So I literally the next day just started running every night and started eating chicken and vegetables and things I had never eaten before. I stopped eating peanut butter out of a jar, which was hard, but I stopped.
I've done it.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I lost like 150 pounds in like 6 months or something.
What?
Yeah.
You talk about, obviously not being as accepted in school, but you found comedy, so were you a bit of a class clown?
No.
What did people think of you, or how did you perceive people?
So I didn't talk until I was like 13, 14.
You didn't talk? You were mute?
Didn't talk. Little things, I'd go, and that meant hungry, and that meant hungry. So that's about it.
So I can't believe you didn't speak at all.
I did have a rough childhood, and I did have a pretty rough upbringing as far as my parents and what they were going through, and there was a lot of drinking, a lot of fights and stuff, and I definitely just clammed up, and I was afraid to speak my mind. And a lot of kids who grow up in that household, they get fat, they get quiet, and sometimes they get into self-harm, or they get into all these really, really sad things. So I'm really happy that I found comedy, because if I didn't, I don't know where I would be.
A lot of times in this day and age with Instagram and all these vloggers, it's like it's this perception, they put on this image of their life, this ideal life. Hey, I'm on vacation. Hey, I'm at this restaurant, but they don't show the moments in between that might not be so fun.
No, I show everything. I show all the weird, sad things. I try to be completely real with the audience because that's what I wanted to watch when I was their age, when I was a teenager. I didn't want some fake version of what life was. I wanted the real stuff.
Because you remember yourself as that. That's like, you always kind of identify with how you were when you were younger.
Oh, I have complete body dysmorphia, and this isn't a joke. When I look in the mirror, I see a 400-pound person.
You do cry a lot?
Sad clown. I cry so much. I think the one moment that I really cried on tour was this girl came up to me. She was like 26. She was my age. And she gave me a hug, and she was just like, you really got me through high school. And I was like, thank you. And she showed me all the scars on her arm from all, like, she was a cutter. And she got my initials tattooed where the cuts were, because she was like, you know, this makes me remember not to do this. It's not worth it. That really hit me.
What do you hope people take away from everything you're showing and revealing online about yourself and your identity and who you are?
My main thing is I hope people take away that it's okay to be the weird kid. It's okay to not fit in. It's okay to, you know, make crazy jokes and not keep everything in. And, you know, all my videos that I've made for the last 8 years have been trying to make people laugh that are having a hard time. So for me, I guess just laugh. Laugh and don't take life so seriously.
All right, I love you guys.